This is that face, you know, when you go through a lot of trauma, you know.
For 20 years.
For 20 years, and he took a break from the trauma for, a couple years. And once again, the trauma set in continuously. Never stopped. You know what? It's one of the few Sundays I forgot about the trauma. And then I turned on the game. I was like, oh, it's going to be a trauma-free Sunday. And then I seen the early signs. It was going to be a problem, And in the second half, threw an interception, was rushed. And I said, you know what? It's going to be a problem. And I was right. Russell Wilson, he consistent. So, I hope you guys have a better Sunday if you're not from Cleveland.
Best friend, how are you? Angel, how are you? We're doing great over here, as you guys can tell. Just peachy almost,
Mm-hmm.
It's absolutely A-okay. Ashley, what's going on? Well,
just sharing,
so
this traumatic stream, traumatic podcast.
I just want to start off by talking about something that's been affecting me for the majority of my life.
Mm-hmm.
Like 20 out of my 29 years, every Sunday I've been traumatized by the hopes that the Browns would do something good. For the last 20 years, I always get my hopes up. 16 weeks out of the year, my hopes are so high to be let down over and over to the point where I feel like I don't know what a battered wife feels like, but I feel like a battered wife, and I just don't.
Just keep going back. People tell you to get out.
I just don't. I can't. I feel like I'm like a masochist. I just can't get enough of the punishment. It just keeps going. And every Sunday, I here we go.
Mm-hmm.
And every Sunday, I'm let down again and again and again. So we want to start off talking about that kind of trauma. If you're a Cleveland Browns fan, I'm sure you guys are traumatized too. And if you say that you're not, then that's how I know you're really traumatized, because you really are, because we all are, and you just coping saying that you're not. I might have to type something to get into. What's going on, man? Penalties killed us, right? Wide receivers that complain about catching the ball and then don't catch the ball killed us.
Mm-hmm.
People with two hands not knowing to catch a ball killed us. That type of stuff. It's ridiculous, man.
Just once again, it's gonna be a long week, and if you just look at next Sunday is really on some. I know that I'm gonna be in grief. I'm gonna be sad, but I just gotta go, see my love.
So next Sunday, so next Sunday, definitely join the show. We're gonna start off all upbeat and positive.
Next Sunday,
it's a bye week. Then we got the Patriots. Right back to being sad.
Oh, my bad. Next week's gonna be happy. But yeah.
So anyway, now we got to perk up a little bit. Now we got the initial grief out of the way. I can't believe I let somebody do this to me for 20 years and 20 straight years, man. I let somebody do this to me 20 straight years. I don't get it. Nobody should stand for this type of punishment.
Like, it was worse that, they left Cleveland, went to Baltimore, won the Super Bowl. Damn.
Yeah, I don't know what we're gonna do. So we're gonna be doing a lot of drinking. Okay, so welcome into part 2 of our series. I guess I don't know how many we was gonna do. I think we were shooting for 4, but 4 might not make it because there's so much different type of trauma out there. So today we supposed to talk about like teenage trauma, like trauma that you go through in your
teenage years.
Your teenage years. We kind of talked about it. That sounds good. It's paid a lot of money. Shouldn't sound like that.
That's
Okay. I'm just making sure.
And it's trying to make ice and
the line. So yeah, so and so last week's show for y'all that watched live or went back and watched. Thank you, by the way. We had Regina. She was in here. She was in here talking about some stuff that she went through when she was
as a child.
Yeah.
And if you missed it, you can do a recap. If you remember.
Well, she ain't in here. I don't want to recap her not being in here. But if you want to recap, you can always go back and rewatch the show. But I think she was 13. She had some stuff going on in her family that she shared with us. So we appreciate of that. So we kind of dove into like the teenage years before we even got there, to be honest. But now that we're here, it ain't gonna be as fun as last show, I guess, because there's no like trauma test for teenagers. There are trauma tests for teenagers, but they all kind of loop that all into the youth. So if y'all want to do this test from last week, we posted it, and y'all should make sure that y'all go do that to find out your trauma level. And you don't got to share it with nobody. You can just do it for yourself, and then so you'll know. So you might see the signs and get yourself help if you need it.
10 possible points, and so the more points is more trauma.
Yeah. So. And maybe you're just really good at coping with it, but later in life or sooner or later, it always catches up with us. Just like everything else. So definitely do that. Can't stop thinking about the Browns. I'm sorry, I'm just hurts. Angel, I did recommend you pick the Browns this year because I'm like, we'll be better towards the end, but still.
Yeah, towards the end, like we really might hit that. 5. What we got? 4 losses down.
Yeah.
5 or 6. We could, go on a winning streak and maybe make the playoffs after that.
If everybody stay healthy after the Patriots game, it get real easy. And so I said 9-7 was my record, and I'm sticking with it so far.
We still could lose against the Ravens. And we still haven't played the Steelers yet, even though they trash.
They trash. We'll beat them twice.
And the Bengals, easy, cupcake.
We might lose to the Ravens the second time, maybe.
It's possible, but it depends on us. I mean, it's coming up. I don't think it's coming at the end, is it?
It's way later, though.
Okay, if it's way later, then it's going to be a tough game because it's going to be that
divisional championship. Yeah, for sure. So we played the Steelers twice and the Bengals twice. We'll be okay. We'll be all right. But yeah, so feel free, while we're talking, if y'all want to think about. I can't, this is annoying me. I can't, any stories or whatever that y'all want to share about, trauma, or things that y'all went through, or like y'all teenager, like high school years, I guess, into your young adult life. And all I can do is, I'd say a constant in mine would be Cleveland Brown losing. It was a constant in my teenage, my young adult, and my current life. It's the same trauma for 20 years.
Yeah. It's as a Browns fan, it is what it is. I mean, if you love the Browns, you love to watch them lose, and it's only the Browns can lose like this. No other NFL team loses like the way we do. Like, it's always in a dramatic fashion, like gut-wrenching, heart-crushing fashion every time. Just think of all the losses, and they're always this close. Like the one on Monday night, it was like, okay, we know this is over.
Yeah,
First play of the game from San Francisco was deflating. It's like it's over. It was over because you could just feel it. You know what type of day it was gonna be. But today, it's a lot worse. But so we're gonna jump into the the main topic of our show, which is teenage trauma. Now, as aforementioned, it was a test that we put out. It's on our page, and I scored a 6 on the test. I don't know who this is. It's a fake person. Watch, it's gonna be somebody fake. Mm-hmm.
Hello, this is Cleveland Clinic.
Oh, that's real.
They heard about this trauma test and they was calling to check on them.
It's like, man, I should have put that lady to go to voicemail. So I can.
Now you don't know what they're talking about. You should have just took the call. Yeah, man. So.
Oh, so yeah, I scored a 6 on the test, and a 6 out of 10. That's not good. So, I believe what you say you scored a 3.
Yeah, I had a 3. My sister, Ebony J, she scored a 3 as well.
What a coincidence.
We always grew up in the same house. I mean, she's older, so her experience was a little bit different. But yeah, we both scored a 3. I wonder. So you should have your sister take the test and see what she.
I should.
What she. Yeah,
I'm sending her a link.
Yeah. She won't look. So yeah, so I think today we should focus on. We should talk about it. So talk about stuff that happened to us, or just forms of trauma, man. So it's like I said, I think one of the biggest things about subjects like this is that it's important to know that you're not alone, like that you're not the only person that experienced that type of a thing.
Mm-hmm.
And most importantly, that like now that it did happen to you, that you don't have to just live with that or let that be like control your life or because of that it holds you back from anything. I think like moving forward, the resiliency test. So as bad as your trauma is, like whatever that number is, we also took a second test called like a resiliency test. I think that is way more important than anything because it shows that so people with high levels of trauma or low levels of trauma, it just shows that this happened and I'm going to combat it. Like I'm not going to just lay down and feel sorry for myself. I'm going to do what I got to do. I'm going to take care of business the best way I know how. And then you just kind of go from there. You know what I'm saying? So I think that test is way more important. So today, like I said, I think we should talk about it, talk about stuff that we, and like I said, y'all feel comfortable sharing, y'all story of what y'all been through. We'll share some, of course. And then we could talk about stuff that might help, like conversations. So if you got a teenager, you know what I'm saying, and maybe they're going through something or some of the signs or something like that, then, you can maybe take some information from here possibly and share it with them and help them out as well. Like, you kind of just never know. So I think just having a forum, a brainstorming session or whatever, where people can bounce ideas over each other, be great. And, like I said, if you got a teenager, you older, you know what I'm saying, maybe having this conversation with other adults, kind of maybe to jog something in your memory that you've been through, and then you can use that to talk to your kid or whatever about it. Like it's, I don't know. I think it's an important thing though.
So when I think about my teenage years, which starts at 13, if we're being technical,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, childhood, see some pretty traumatic things, most of which I'm not going to mention on the show. But let's say,
Ooh.
What? It's hitting hard.
I might have found a pretty good combination of toxins.
You know what?
Ooh, that was good.
When I had the whiskey and I never had a whiskey and cigar together, and I had it yesterday. I'm like,
That's
this
good.
shit tastes good.
This had nothing to do with trauma. This is a Puerto Rican.
Puerto Rican.
Or Dominican rum.
They do have Puerto Rican rum.
I don't know. This is rum. This is for a foreign rum from a foreign land. This is white rum from the States, and that combination was really good. All right. Anyway, back to that caught me. It was unexpected. Sorry.
It hit you hard.
So your teenage 13-year-old trauma.
So, like a big trauma event was what's this, August? Yeah, September. Yeah, last month. It would probably be about. How old am I?
What?
Sometimes I gotta think of my age. For real, it was like 17 years since the incident happened, and so it was in September, and freshman year, you starting off, so you're trying to be focused or whatever. Just, you new to high school, and my grandmother ended up dying. So after that, I said, I'm not really paying. I don't give a fuck about school at all. Like, I don't care about this. Homework, no. Reading books, no. And you would, people say you never get over, a loved one's death. And shit, I must have never got over it for real, because I didn't care about school, anything that was happening in school, or really care about a lot of stuff that was going on after that. So.
Until when, or still not today?
No, I most definitely.
I know you care about stuff today.
You care about stuff, a lot of stuff. Well, mostly family, first. But I don't know when. I don't know. I can't even tell you when the change occurred. Maybe. Or, to be honest with you, I'm gonna say maybe 7 years ago. Yeah.
Okay.
So.
What happened 7 years ago?
Well, I was in a predicament where I had to talk to a therapist, because I don't ever talk about. And when I was a child, my parents gonna try to send me to a therapist, and a counselor at the school to talk to them. So I don't know, fifth, I don't know, grade or whatever. And so I would go, and I would never say shit, not even a word,
I'm listening, man. That shit is good though.
I wouldn't say anything. So we always used to have the counseling sessions in the library part or whatever. So it was a book in there on psychology, but it was a teaching therapist, how to approach your subject or whatever. And in the book it said it was doing all the tricks and tips. So I read this. So all the tips, all the tricks you try to give me candy, give me. I'm
shook it off.
Thanks. Yeah,
shook it off.
I already know what you're trying to do. I don't trust you. That was my mentality. I don't trust you. I'm not saying a word to you. So this lasted, I don't know. I probably had at least 10 sessions, maybe more, and it didn't work. I didn't say shit. And I was before this incident happened.
So I've never seen a counselor or anything like that. Well, I wouldn't say a social worker, but you know what I mean. I never seen no professional person that works on your mind or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. You about to censor?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. I was gonna do. Go ahead. So I never seen nobody like that. So I don't know. And I always be curious as to like how do you open up to a stranger? And people say it's easier to open up to a stranger because they don't know you. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like I would get in there and I would just like I just wouldn't say nothing. I would just like I don't know. Like why am I telling you this? And I get it. So I know why you're supposed to be telling them, but like why would I tell you this stuff? Like you know what I'm saying? I don't know. Like I don't know. Like I don't know how people. So if you guys ever had any bouts with therapists or counselors or anything like that, like let me know because I'm curious of like how do you and I'm sure it'll happen the first time, like take a session or two, but like how do you eventually open up to like a stranger, like telling them you know, this is what you're dealing with.
Oh, well, when you first get in there, you know, what they said, well, you get to choose what we talk about. So whatever you choose to talk about, that's what we talk about. That's how they get you. 'Cause then you feel like, well, certain things I want to talk about, certain things I don't want to talk about. So that's how they get you. And then eventually you get comfortable. But like really, if they're good therapists, a counselor, whatever, then they will have a genuine interest in what you have to say because you may be telling them stuff that's like kind of like eye opening to them, like they really are interested in what you have to say because you know everybody's story different and it may vastly different from you know their story, their background. So
For sure.
like, so like when we went, we talked about a lot, like well mostly. Well, a little bit while I was there. Main reason why I was there. And well, she told me like, well, look, the reason why you're here, you're not like having any like I deal with these type of people all the time. Like that's not what that's not what you was going through. You know, how can I say this? I like to be coded on certain things because we don't live in California and shit.
So basically she lulled you into a sense of security, not even a false sense, but like eventually by saying, you know, there's no pressure, you're not one of these people, whatever, like, you know what I'm saying? And then you eventually you just got comfortable and then you're like, all right, so we can talk about it a little bit more because I feel comfortable with you.
Yeah, but I was going to her for like over a year, and we talk for an hour once a week.
So I just don't, and I you know, everybody be like, oh, I'm strong and this and that. Like, but I know that I am, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like I know that I'm tough to crack, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So if you went it, you like, we don't, you know what I'm saying? Especially if it's mandated. Like if it's mandated, I go and then like, well, we talk about whatever you want to talk about. I don't want to talk about shit, so we ain't talking about nothing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I feel like if you ask the right question, like I'll be honest. Like, it's one thing I'm honest. You know what I'm saying? And so if you ask me something, I'll tell you the truth, no matter what. You know what I'm saying? So if they ask the right questions, I can see that, and then they can find out information that way. But as far as me just like volunteering information, I can't see myself doing it. I'm not saying I can't.
You feel like an informant against yourself.
Yeah, like you know what I'm saying? Because I know, and we're talking about trauma and stuff like that. Like I know it's stuff that is buried. You know what I'm saying? Like I know for a fact it is. So for me to bring that to the surface, like I just don't see it happening for me. And that's not to say that somebody smarter than me or whatever can't get around it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying that I don't feel like it would be as beneficial to me. And you know, part of it, you got to be willing to do that. And I'm just not all the way willing.
Right. But see, like I told you the story. I just told you the story before where when I was in a situation where it's voluntary. Well, not even voluntary, like, but situation where I went and I didn't say shit, and into a situation where it's in a situation. Then I went into a situation where I needed understanding, but But since I was gone, and then she was talking and got more comfortable, like telling you, it took a lot of sessions before
you get to that
say
point.
anything.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's how it is. But then she ended up leaving, going to another agency, and then tried to assign me somebody new. And I'm like,
Nah,
good.
Keep doing that again. That's something that Ebony J, like she's a social worker, and so when she changed firms or companies or whatever, like a lot of people did try to come over with her, switch companies or whatever because they felt comfortable with her instead of starting all the way over. And that I understand completely. I just don't know how it works. So I don't want to get too far before we answer this. So Angela said, I'm assuming she asked from both of us, but she said, did anybody in your family, since you were talking about your grandma, talk to you about death when people started dying? She said, I only asked because nobody talked to me and she wished that somebody did. You want me to go first, nigga? You thinking?
Yeah, you go first.
I ain't know
you was looking at me like
I was waiting.
I was thinking about how I wanted to tackle.
Oh, and he was
question.
Making noise.
She Andrew asking loaded questions.
Yeah. So I think that all right. So my first thing about or memory about death or whatever was when my dad died when I was 5, right? And I to this day I remember vividly like going to the funeral home or church, like whatever building it was. I remember going up to the casket and looking at the casket and seeing them in there and all that stuff. Typically, and my dad died suddenly, you know what I'm saying? So typically, you don't talk to a 5-year-old about death or whatever, you know what I'm saying?
Right. Because he's young.
Yeah, you just young, yeah. But I remember vividly doing that, right? What's going on, Ebony J? Welcome to the show. So I remember vividly being, young and like I said, going up to the casket and looking in the casket and seeing, my dad laying there or whatever. And then I remember leaving, and I remember like the songs I was playing, like as I was leaving, like I remember all that stuff at 5. You know what I'm saying? So from that point on, at 5, like that happened, and then I watched The Lion King, and I was like, I'm never going to another funeral. Like you know what I'm saying? I had to grow up to be the lion now. Like, you know what I'm saying? I had to be Mufasa, I'm Simba. You know what I'm saying? I got to be the new Mufasa. So not only am I not going to more funerals, like at 5, that hardened me. You know what I'm saying? At 5 or at 6, I guess, whenever The Lion King came out, I seen that and I was like, this is my story. You know what I'm saying? I felt like that movie was made for me or whatever.
See.
So we didn't notice. So at that time, I made up in my mind my perception about death. And my family didn't talk to me about death until like my grandmother passed, or around the time that my grandmother was passing. Because before that, everybody that had died in my family, I think, was pretty sudden. You know what I'm saying? Except for until you got to my grandmother, where hers like a steady decline, where it was something we can talk about and kind of cope and prepare ourselves for. But everything else was kind of sudden, so we never really had to talk about it because at 5 or whenever, I had made up in my mind, like, nigga, this is what death is, and this is how I'm reacting to it every single time as a little kid. You know what I'm saying? So we didn't talk about it. What about you?
See, I was 14. Yeah, 14. My grandmother died. Now my great grandmother died when I was a lot younger than that, but I don't remember the funeral. I really don't remember. I kind of remember the funeral, but I kind of don't, because I'm still like young, But when it came to my grandmother, I was there when she died, seeing her take her last breath. Then
you want to talk about trauma,
right? So I don't like. Of course, I remember that, but like, I remember leaving the hospital. Like, I don't know, It's like I don't like. And then I I really don't remember the funeral at all, except that my the only person who comforted me I don't want to say the only person, but the only person, the person who was there was my grandmother's brother. He was there and was talking to me the whole time. But as far as anything else, I don't remember. Like, it was just blur. So.
And at 14, you would think that would be, you said 14?
Mm-hmm.
So that would be something you would definitely remember. Like that wasn't that long ago. You know what I'm saying? Like, but then so that just show you like how trauma and bad experiences like that you will bury them. You will bury them, man, before you ever let them see the surface of that. Like you would die before you ever let that shit come back up. You know what I'm saying? And it's crazy. I mean, that's how so many people are. It's crazy, though.
Just imagine that. Okay, that happened when I was 14. I never talked to anybody about it.
Right.
And then the first person I'm really talking about it is 10 years later. Somebody I don't know.
Nobody you don't even know at all.
Right. So
your family. So just to be clear, your family didn't talk about it.
Well, okay. My grandmother was my mother's mother, so she's of course distraught over the situation. My father was on vacation.
Not after she died, like before. Like, did y'all ever have any kind of conversation like, like this is what death is.
No.
This is why we go to church. Like, this is what we believe. Like, this is what nothing like that. So I think, I don't know if it's, I don't know if it's a taboo thing for families to talk about it. Like, I think it's important, man. Like, especially nowadays, where, for lack of a better term, like kids are soft. You know what I'm saying? So teaching them like just all different aspects of like what life is, including like the inevitability for the inevitable for us all is death. You know what I'm saying? And teaching like this is why we go to church, and this is why we believe what we do. You know what I'm saying? So when something like death do happen, and it will happen for all of us, you know what I'm saying? This is the steps that we have in place, or steps that we believe, or whatever. Of course, not too young, like that wouldn't, it just wouldn't make sense or whatever. But I think it's important to have that conversation, like so that you can mentally prepare. Like of course, it's bad to lose your grandmother or whatever, but like one of the best things for our family, I believe, and look, and I'm saying this is the best thing. It's probably the best thing that ever happened. Not losing her, but like the fact that she was able to plan her entire funeral, from the colors that we wore to who she wanted to carry in the casket. Like literally, she planned everything. Flower, like everything. Right? So it took all the pressure off of us of having to feel obligated. Like, I'm her grandson, I gotta carry the casket. You know what I'm saying? Or I'm her daughter, so I gotta do X, Y, and Z.
Like everybody,
She said like she was like, she's like, I know my sister. She's like, my sister. She's like, look, I don't want to have my funeral on a Saturday because my sister is a 7-day Adventist or whatever religion she is. She's like, so we can't have it on a Saturday, right? She ended up doubling back, like, well, she's just gonna have to miss, church or whatever. But the fact that she was so thoughtful enough to say, like, we can't do this on a Saturday because of it inconvenience somebody else. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just literally took the pressure off for all of us, right? And even with that, nigga, our family still barely survived. Like, nigga, after she died, like, nigga, our family, we went through it. Like, it was like, this is what I think of when I think about like in Japan when they dropped the bomb or whatever. So you dropped the bomb, and you got some people that, of course, most people died immediately. So that was my grandmother or whatever, right? Then everything around that spot was just like, it was just bad. And then the further you got from it, the better it was. But everything right there in that center, which is our family, was bad, man. It was quiet. Like, you know what I'm saying? I felt like nobody was really talking to each other. Not like we hated each other, but it was just weird. You know what I'm saying? It was weird for a long time, man. It was so weird. And it felt like, nigga, the family, like, this is it. Nigga, everybody gonna go out to their own direction. That's gonna be it. You know what I'm saying? But we ended up getting it back together or whatever, and staying together, or whatever. But I thought, but without having that conversation, I think it would have been so much worse than just giving us time to come to grips with it before it actually happened. Then when it happened, of course, you were sad, but he like, all right, get it together. We plan for this. This is what she, laid out. So let's put our plan into motion. And then, we end up in a better place because she was able to do that. So I think having that conversation with your kids or your family, whatever, I think that's super important for them to be able to prep. Not saying when you're going to die or nothing like that, but just as a kid, being able to tell them, like, hey, this is what death is. And, this is why we do what we do. This is why we go to church every Sunday. This is why we read the Bible, like, what I'm saying? Because when death do happen, we want to be able to put these steps in order. You know what I'm saying? That's what I think about. My mother said, because you won't help, I think she's referring to counseling. Like, but how do you, I just don't know how you crack into it is all I'm saying. And then Angel said, from my experience, I went and openly dumped it all since I had held in so much for so many people. It was great to just let it out to a stranger. Of course, I was an adult at this point. As a kid, I probably would not have shared. Yeah, I'm an adult, mostly. And I still don't know how I would share. Like, I don't know, man.
Well, share what?
Just like share with a counselor, like share with a like a social worker, not a social worker, counselor, therapist, psychologist, stuff like that.
See, the thing about it is, like, you would think you would be saying some wild shit to them, and
they shrug it off.
But they hear some wild shit, like like worse. It's probably to them it's like a relief that you ain't talking about like murdering like your family or some wild shit like that.
That's funny. See, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't like to be, because man, look, so like you had something that forced you to go. Like, you had something that where you was like, man, I got to go get checked out, or somebody forced you to go, or whatever. Like, you had a situation where, like, you had to go see somebody, right? Mm-hmm. Like, something led you to that point. Mm-hmm. Without having something like that, I just don't see, and not saying that I wouldn't go, I would be open to going, but I just don't know how to, I can't, like, cause like one thing I don't care about, and I said it plenty of times on the show, like what people think about me, right? Mm-hmm. So, which means like if we had a conversation, like as long as there ain't nothing about, illegal stuff or whatever, like I'll talk about it on camera, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Because I don't, like, whatever, like, it's in my past, it is or ain't who I am now or whatever, like, I don't care about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, so to go to a place and to be able to do that, I just don't know. I don't know. I just don't know how it works.
But they aren't. Hey, let's say you said some illegal stuff or whatever, or illegal things.
Well, yeah, I know they got, can't privacy things, yeah.
But you telling somebody who can't, like, they can't, nothing can come back to you from saying whatever you got to say, because it ain't like you can walk to, for real, it ain't like you can go to, I'm just gonna say for me, well, no, it's different. All right, it ain't like you can just go to old Joe Smo and just like, yeah, back when I was 10s, such and such happened, and
yeah,
they're gonna be looking like,
what the fuck is happening?
Like, that's not the rope. That, like, because eventually you're gonna want to talk about it because you're thinking about it in your mind, like, over and over again.
But look, I get that part, and that's why you have, like, so even like you or Darnell or CJ, or like all, like my closest friends, right? And like I said, it's nothing I'm withholding. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's just stuff that either we don't talk about, or stuff that so I don't even know how to explain it. You know what I'm saying? Like, because if nigga was to ask me a question, like, I can't even think of something that I would be like, I don't really want to talk about it. Like, so, but even y'all being my closest friends, people that I know, first of all, if y'all judge me, I wouldn't care anyway, but people that I know that wouldn't judge me, like, it's stuff that I just don't share with y'all. Like, not that I'm against it. It's just like you don't come up in conversation. And y'all know how guys are.
Regular.
Yeah, like you know how guys are. Like they don't just be talking about feelings and stuff anyway. Every once in a while, you know what I'm saying. But every once in a while, people will say stuff like not like
for a nigga to talk to you about a girl about their feelings for a girl is still rare.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, like real feelings for a real girl. You don't find out until they engage. Anyway. You know what I'm saying? Like I remember. Somebody gonna hate me for telling this story. I remember when I first got engaged, right, on ePIFFany Radio. I think Darnell hadn't met her yet or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, man, how you gonna get engaged? Like, we didn't even approve of this. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like it was a whole thing. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I knew you liked her and this and that. Like, but I had no idea. Like niggas don't like guys don't talk about real feelings with women until they engaged already. So you're engaged or married. Like, you know what I'm saying? When you finally get married, like, oh, okay. You really love this girl, huh? Before that, you're like, I didn't know it was that serious.
I remember it was like, yeah, like she's gonna move to Cleveland, whatever. I'm like, when? It's like next week.
Yeah.
Like, what do you next week?
Because it was like, she like came here to visit and she's like, yeah, well, this is fun. I think I'll be back in a couple of weeks. Yeah, that's how it happened. Like, that's funny. MJ said, right, that's what I'm saying. Like, so you like, so it's already tough for guys to share anyway. Like, and I don't mind sharing. It's just like it's just certain stuff that guys just don't talk about, so you don't have the opportunity to. And I always tell my friends, so do countless of times, nigga. But I remember the last time we went to John John's together. Nigga, we sit in the car, we was drinking, and I'm the type of dude to get drunk. Like when I'm with my friends, but man, nigga, I had to do that. Be like all over, like you know, some niggas just want to hug and touch and just be super friendly. I'm the type of dude that be like, look, man, like this be my exact words too. I'm like, look, I don't got no family, and I don't mean like I don't got a family. I'm like, I don't got no wife, I don't got no kids, I don't got no family. You know what I'm saying? Like, if it ever went down, I want to be the first person you call. Like, you know what I'm saying? Call me. I'll go do whatever. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? I'll take the hit because I don't got no family. I don't got no kids to worry about this and that. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the type of person I am when I get drunk. Like, nigga, like if anybody ever mess with Alexis, man, like nigga, I gotta be the first person to call. You know what I'm saying? Nigga, we'll drive to Kent tonight. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's me. You know what I'm saying? So. And that's as far as it goes. Like that's as far as my opening up goes. Like, nigga, I want you to count on me. Like, and that's just it. Emily said, "It's okay to cry and feel sad." Man, look, it took me.
Where you at? Hold on. Read that.
I'm a little bit up like this. It took me to cry when my grandmother passed. Like the first time, it took me, man. It took me like 6 years. 6 years to shed a tear. Like every time I felt it, I was like, don't do it. Like don't. Mm-hmm. And I'll be by myself. You know what I'm saying? And I think so. It was like a long time. I got like one of her sermons on she was a minister. I got one of her sermons on like CD or whatever. And one time I was just going through it, popped the CD in there, and like just hearing her voice for like the first time in years or whatever, just it broke me. Regina, what's going on? We talked about you earlier. Talked about your trauma. We didn't recap because you wasn't here. I didn't feel comfortable with it. Emily J said, "Great counselors will be able to get open without feeling generic." What else? That's good. Oh, you just late. We talked about all that. Emily J, I
agree. You're gonna see what my mother said.
What she said? Since you are older?
Yeah. Huh?
Nigga, you just read it. You told me I skipped it. What we talked about?
That's why I was gonna like. I didn't know. That's why I didn't know where you was at.
We're talking about it. Since you're older.
All right, hold on.
Yeah, but I ain't had no context for it, so that's why I had to go in. Tim, you can get your own show by telling us what you want to talk about, and then
we'll talk about it.
Then we can, if you want to get on, like we can put that together too. Just let us know.
But how do I feel now?
I guess you're talking about as far as losing people, or talking about death or funerals, or
I don't know. I guess
I'm not exactly sure.
You might be talking about her specifically. Of course, I don't feel good. Like,
how do you feel about your mom?
no, it's talking about my. It says, since you're older, how do you feel about your grandmother dying?
Oh, okay.
I was saying, of course, not good. I know how are you supposed to feel about something like that? See, I don't know how you and your grandmother relationship was, but man, my grandmother, talked about everything. Like, she knew about all the girlfriends I had. I used her like it was two different lots. Like, she had her own number in the house, and then it was other because we had stayed with her for a minute. So it was two numbers in the house. I used their phone to call all of them.
So when they called back,
and so
that's funny.
It's all of them. So, yeah. But yeah, so of course I don't feel good. Like,
I don't think she was asking if you felt good about it, but she's just saying like how, like, because you said it was only 7 years ago that you was able to, I don't want to say get past it, but you was able to, like, accept it and put it like in a place where you can hold on to it without it like continuing to linger on you.
Because the counselors, they want to know. I mean, of course, they're gonna start back from the beginning to get an understanding, especially depending on what type of counselor they are. And excuse me. So, of course, we hit that. And yeah.
So it's a funny cooking. So my mom said, I planned my funeral so it'd be easy for y'all. All right, well, you need to put it on paper or something because I don't know anything. And then your mom said, she said, since I'm in my right mind, I want my son and daughter to know our funeral wishes and etc.
You should not go to Gaines' funeral.
I want to have everything in order. Gotta have this discussion. Don't want to be stressed.
I said the Gaines are bored. I don't remember. I get messed up.
That's funny.
Like,
Look,
I the one on Cedar. What's the one on Cedar?
Down by us.
It's like it's two of them on Cedar. Like, but one of them is Gaines and Boyd or something like that.
The only one I know is like the one in East Cleveland on Euclid.
Two of them on Cedar.
Anyway. Man, look, if you're in your right mind, and my family was supposed to do this like a couple months, like almost a year ago or so. We were supposed to say, like, you know what I'm saying, like, just get it on paper. It don't got to be notarized or whatever, just so we'll know, like, do you want to be like, do you want like a do not resuscitate order? Do you want, you know what I'm saying, like, of course, you know, your life insurance or whatever, that's settled, you know, whatever you want to do. But like, you know, like, what are your arrangements? And the only thing that I have, because I don't care, like, once I'm dead, like, just don't spend no money. Like, drop me off at Case Western Reserve, let them do science experiments, let them reanimate. But I don't care. Like, I'm dead. Take that life insurance money and you have a dope ass party. And don't worry about burying me because that's expensive. Don't worry about cremating me because that's a hassle. Like, just drop me off at Case. And you can take that life insurance money and party up. Like, put on the DMX, party up and party up. Like, that's it. That's all I want. I want that. And then at wherever y'all had a party, I got 5 songs. That got to be played. And only 2 people on the planet know the songs. But the songs got to be played. And I'll tell you in the words, there's going to be some cussing here, so let's give y'all a warning. In the words of, like, so my cousin Antonio know the 5 songs, and I know his 5 songs. And in his words, this is his words exactly. He's like, you know, play the 5 songs. He said, tell everybody, like, these are my 5 songs. He's like, if they don't want to listen to the 5 songs, and I mean, they ain't never really fuck with me and fuck them. He's like, I don't care if you got to say it in the church. He's like, if you don't listen to these 5 songs, they never really fuck with me and fuck them. That's his exact words. And I'm like, well, nigga, if those are wishes, like, who am I to deny your wishes or whatever? So, and I got 5 songs, and, you know, he don't got to say that on the mic, but I recommend those sentiments. Like, nigga, these 5 songs that I feel like represent me or my life or whatever. Nigga, you got to listen to these songs. Nigga, and on my list, it's really 4 songs. Like, one of them getting played twice. So if you don't like that song, like, you're just gonna be salty or you just tell me they never really fuck with him. So it's what it is.
I have to think of my 5 songs.
Let me see. So my mother said that's what she did for them, talking about the funeral or whatever. Emily J said, will I be able to get you opened up? Not a chance. I get you opened up because I'm your counselor. You a counselor and I'm your counselor. Angel said, my parents were clear on their wishes and it made their passing so much easier, I think she was saying. She said, definitely talk to your kids and family so people know you are prepared. Completely agree. Regina said, my 20-year-old son does not cry at anything. His dad left me when I was pregnant and came back after he was born on and off for a year. Anyway, his teen years, I told him he was treating me like his father. He said, that's a dick thing to say. No, it's truth. Anyway, his eyes teared up. I must have hit something deep. Look, you said a son. Look, I can definitely sympathize, man. Because my grandmother died when I was 21. I think I was 21, maybe 22. And so, after a funeral, you go have like the repast, you go eat food or whatever, and then like for the most part, the family might stick around, or maybe y'all go hang out or something. I'm like, I'm going home. They're like, we gonna go have some drinks and play some. I'm going home. Like, I just want to go home. Man. Like, I don't want to talk about nothing. And yeah, like I buried that, like that, not the feeling, like so of course I felt it, but the emotion of letting it out, like, I buried it, man, for 6 years. Like before I shed my first tear, and even then I wasn't like boo-hooing, but I was like just hearing her voice, like redid something for me, or whatever. So, man, and then so that's at 20, 21, 22. Now taking it even back further, like how much stuff happened on 90th. You know what I'm saying? Like
we didn't even do
that. Yeah, like you did your teenage. I didn't even do my teenage story, but like so much stuff happened on 90th. You know what I'm saying? Like my mom and stepfather splitting up, you know what I'm saying, that I was moving like off of 90th and having to live with my sister for a long time. Just stuff happened on 90th. Like my sister's first fiance or boy, I don't know what that was exactly, but this nigga got like shot and killed. Like nigga, that was like crazy. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like so much stuff happened in my teenage years personally, and I'm sure other people can relate. Like I didn't show or tell nobody nothing. None of this stuff. Like, and even like Emily J watching now, like nigga, like she don't even know like Mario, like with my dog, like you know what I'm saying, like she had boyfriends before, I'm sure, like, but Mario's like the dude that I could actually put a face with, put like a personality with, like you know what I'm saying, like I was older, so I can, you know what I'm saying, and then he got like shot and killed, you know what I'm saying, like I never to this day, like this is the first time I think she ever gonna hear me say something about Mario that wasn't like something funny that he did. This is funny Spanish nigga or something. I don't know what it was. Anyway, you know what I'm saying? Like, just so much stuff happened that like guys just never talk about. You know what I'm saying? And all it takes is something like the smallest chisel and pen, and you hit a little nerve, and then you completely break down and tear up or something. You know what I'm saying? Like, so Regina, all I can say is, give them time, man. Just give them time. That's all I can say. Like, I'm sure it's been a long time, but man, just give him time and keep giving him support, and then eventually he'll come to realize. Like, I don't know if he still stay with you or whatever, but sometimes it takes getting that little bit of space from like your parents or whatever to put things in perspective. And then, like, even once you get it to perspective, you got to kind of come into your own as a person, as a male, and be able to go and have that conversation or talk about it or whatever. But I want to support you because you support us, but without even knowing him, just knowing that he's a guy and that's just how guys are, and you, man, like you won't talk about none of this stuff. Like until it happens, it don't happen. Like it's until you hit that nerve or whatever, it don't even exist.
That's what I'm saying. Like
it just don't even exist, man.
So, like I said, incident that happened with my grandmother, and then really didn't care about school, and then it was like I'm living two different lives. going to school with kids who pulling up in
don't tell me about the
Ford Mustangs
cars and
at 16, and you and the Rita is your best friend.
nigga, you was catching that bitch from clear across town, like not even close.
On there, seeing everything, like really on the west side, felt good, but as you creep downtown, it's a different world.
For sure.
Seeing like west side hoods. That's how I started messing with the west side girls, because the bus to get you over there. But it's, like I said, it's like, going to school with millionaires, then you got to come back to 90th. It's a whole different world. Like
story, man.
Like seeing some wild shit, or it's like hard. It's like hard, especially when as an inner city kid, and you got to see friends with money, or just your friends living a different like childhood. Like, so you mean to tell me your parents bought you? Your parents bought you a car when you were 16? How? Brand new?
Yeah, like, I don't even understand. That's funny. MJ gone now, but she said that she was trying to get people to get the people, me and my family, to get it together. But yeah, it was her idea. Nobody did it. You know what I'm saying? Nobody did it. So maybe we'll do it one day. Maybe we'll do it at Thanksgiving and let niggas know we were thankful for. Andy said 5 songs. I think 5 songs is good. Like, so you're looking at maybe 10 to 15 minutes max. Like, nigga, you can't sit down and vibe out for 10 to 15 minutes. And whatever y'all do, y'all have my party in the church. Don't have it in the church that won't let you play rap songs. It's gonna be 5 rap songs with Cousin, and they won't let you play them unedited. Y'all made a mistake. Y'all got to do it again next week.
They got to play them at the recession.
It's all one reception. It's all a reception. There's no funerals, no caskets, no ceremony with ashes.
Sitting around listening to music.
It's gonna be a fucking listening party. It's gonna be a listening party with hors d'oeuvres. You know what I'm saying? That's it, man. That's it. Angel said it's important to do your wishes. I think I agree. And even if it's like a DNR, like it's important to know like what it is that you want. Emily, she gives me open up all the time. She putting on for the show. She putting on for the show.
Hey, but yeah, teenage years, shitty. So like we talked about on the last show when we did the childhood part of it, it was like you didn't have that understanding yet. But then once you are teenage years, and then like high school, kids can be the meanest. In high school, damn. So
you don't die.
It's like so you have an understanding about your house life. Then you got to deal with what I said earlier, some rich kids, like so many dynamics. Like sometimes I walk home like, what if I just like stole this car? I'm gonna take the bus no more. I never stole a car in my life.
Yeah,
Why was in my head? I don't know.
I just I don't know, man. It's just but even stuff like that, right? So even where people look at it like, oh, y'all are so blessed to go to a private school, y'all are blessed to go to school in Cleveland Heights or whatever, which you're not wrong. Like, I'll never say like you crazy that Cleveland Heights, whatever. Like, but we still at the end, like we go to school there, which means we got to get up earlier, to go to a district that's still in education. Well, I was still in education. You was buying. I had to get up earlier to go to a house that I was fake living at so I can get on the bus and go to a school where I shouldn't have been going. And then after that school, I still, like, so I'm going, in full disclosure, I went to school at Roxborough Elementary, right? That area around Roxborough is the richest area in Cleveland Heights. Biggest houses, this is just the richest area. but I lived on 90th and Cedar. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like so people look, this is how rich people near Roxborough is, right? So you take I'm gonna say vacation, you take field trips to the art museum, the Museum of Natural History, the Science Center, wherever the zoo, or wherever we go for field trips.
Mm-hmm.
We went on a field trip to a person's house for ice cream social, and I'm not even kidding. We walked from the school probably 2 blocks to a house. That was, like, it was a real field trip that you had to get permission for. And this is how much like money the niggas just got. I want to throw ice cream social for the kids. I'm gonna officially go through the whatever you got to do, the whatever forms or whatever, to have an ice cream social for kids.
Ice cream for kids. So.
Did that person have kids to go to the school? No. Did he have grandkids? No. It's just a nigga in the neighborhood. It's like, you know what? Let's have ice cream for the kids. Exactly. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, like, nigga, that would have never happened at, this is elementary, so that would have never happened at Noble. That would have never happened at, whatever the other elementary schools in Cleveland Heights is, I don't remember. But, like that would have never happened, you know what I'm saying? Like, so I went to the ice cream store, like, look at this house. This house is amazing. Like, you telling me y'all got more than one bathroom? You know what I'm saying? Like, you telling me.
He said, you telling me you got more than one bathroom.
You telling me you got an actual garage, like a real life garage? You know how many
can be in?
You know how many garages we had on 90th? And I mean the street.
On 90th? No, I had one.
Nigga, that's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying. Nigga, you know how many garages I had been in on 90th? We didn't have garages. You know what I'm saying? Like, we had.
I never noticed that till now. Like, I never realized that.
They had a real garages, man, and like a real basement. They had a real house, and I was, elementary school, so it probably wasn't nothing like super extravagant, but like I seen this house that had everything working, and I went back to my house on 90th. And don't get me wrong, I had a house, like I had a roof over my head. It was heat most of the time. You know what I'm saying? It was lights most of the time. It was like, I'm not knocking it at all. But to go and see how these people live, and then like, hey, I had to go back to this. Like, this is what I got to go back to. I don't want to do that. You know what I'm saying? Hey. So even that builds some form of trauma. Like, it's funny, but it builds something in your mind. Like, how the fuck? How? Exactly. How the fuck is this? How is this gap this big? You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Nigga, we had a house, we had a 3-bedroom, but they got a 4-bedroom. That's something I can understand. Nigga be like, nigga, we don't have lights sometimes, or we don't have gas sometimes. We gotta heat our shit up. We don't got lights, so we gotta heat our shit up on the stove and then walk it upstairs like a fucking pot of hot water. Like, it's crazy.
Living on 90th.
Crazy.
I'm living on 90th.
Crazy.
No, in the middle of winter, no electricity, no heat. Staying on 90th. I had to take if I get to school a little bit early so I could take a shower.
At the school?
At the school. And somebody else was coming to school early taking a shower. Like, I don't know why the fuck he was there. You know what I'm saying? But I figured, well, if he doing it, I can do it
too, yeah.
And, so I would take a shower early as fuck just so I can take a hot shower.
Nigga, I've washed my clothes at Roxborough Middle. I washed a load of clothes at school. You know what I'm saying?
You know those old irons that you got to heat up on the stove?
Oh, wow, yeah.
So I guess my grandmother had one. We used to use it to prop the door open and shit. So once we had no lights, and no heat, no gas, whatever. So, but the stove was, hold on. Was the stove gas? No, this what it was. We didn't have electricity. Yeah, we didn't have so of course you can't run the thing, but we had gas.
Yeah, gas so you heat up on the stove.
It's crazy. It's crazy. Okay, then waking up from the slumber. But yeah, so I put it on the stove and then I would just iron my shit. I had to iron my shit on with this old that shit. It worked. But that shit get hot. It's only one temperature for that shit. Hot as fuck. So I had to put a towel over my clothes to be able to iron it. So I wouldn't burn my shit. So I mean, that's how it just had to be done.
I think you said it's only one temperature.
Yeah, I mean, but then not only is it the aspect of living in the inner city and then going to school and like around rich people is that then again it's the culture shock. So
yeah, it's crazy.
So there's the culture shock. Like then they ask you like black shit
all the time. Yeah,
you just be like,
yeah, I'm sure.
Like it was a teacher after school. His racist ass. Fuck this nigga. Like if he wasn't like damn near like 69, I want to work. I still want to work with the nigga. Like, but anyways, he said this story about he never been around black people until he got to college, and it was like a survey. Like in college they going around ask you surveys, whatever. So they asked him would he ever date a black woman. And he said. Damn, what the fuck he said? No. First they asked him, like, do you care about, interracial relationships, whatever? He was like, no. It was like, would you ever date a black woman? He was like, no.
It was on camera?
Back then, hell no. It wasn't on camera back when this nigga was in college. But
it is in college. Okay.
So he was like, right then and there, that's when I realized that I might be racist. Prejudice, but he did. The nigga ain't say this in my class. He said it. One of my friends had told me about the shit, but already had that pre-notion. The nigga had something against me, and that was, that fueled my final paper in this class.
I wish teachers would have gave me a form like that. I let them all have it. And by the time I was graduating, that was when Barack was in office, or he was running.
This nigga, he was a George Bush loving type of guy. That George Bush.
Talking about that nigga.
Field trip to the Raleigh. He was there.
That's funny. Angel said, I remember staying overnight at a friend's, and she didn't have running water. When I used the bathroom in a 5-gallon bucket in the closet, I've never been so grateful to come home. Look, you're 100,000,000,000% right. Like I'll never complain, and even after 9 days, when me and my mother, it was just me and my mother. We still had our power off from before, and all this stuff. I'm never taking those blessings or whatever for granted for like ever. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, like when you see how like it's a culture thing. Like that builds something in your mind. Like when you say, because we're talking about trauma and stuff, right? So, so when you see stuff, you like, damn, like this how the other half. Like I'm blessed to have, a house that just didn't leak. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying. But at the same time, like these niggas, they're living it up. Like you know what I'm saying. And we don't even have lights. Nigga, they got all the lights. You know what I'm saying? Nigga,
lights, just like Andrew said. Shitting in the bucket, pissing in the bucket.
Yeah, because you're making running water. Or...
Like do you know how cold it is to wash up in the sink? Like,
yes, I do. Yes,
like you freeze.
Yes,
like, it ain't nothing like you gotta get your body a little wet, then put the soap on, and you gotta rinse off how do you completely rinse off soap?
Water? And I don't know if y'all from Cleveland or not, and I'm sure all y'all are. It gets cold, like you know what I'm saying. It gets cold here, so when them pipes get cold, like it get cold. You know what I'm saying? Like so, like I remember taking a pot of water off the stove and then having to walk it up the stairs to the bathroom, and then you pour this in the sink. And you're like, well, so how do I do this? Like you know what I'm saying? So you know, like, you know what I'm saying? You gotta wet your body first. Like, cause once the water get dirty, then it's dirty. Like, so how do you do this? So how do you rinse off? Like, so you just wash yourself, and then you like, do you get a second rag, like with the water? Like, what do you do? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and then I go to school, and niggas like, oh man, like my mom paid $500 for tennis membership. You know what I'm saying? I just got this brand new hockey fucking jersey and shit. Like. You know what I'm saying? This was a $300 hockey jersey and new equipment. I got a new stick.
I'm starving over here.
Like, what? Like, you spent $300 on a stick? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what are you talking about? Like, it's just not even a real thing.
When the Xbox and the PS2 first came out,
Hey, wait, you see my mom talk about don't tell it all? I was like,
Yeah.
nigga, no, nigga, we was without power. We was without gas sometimes. Look, and then when we didn't have gas and we had lights, how you heat up the water? You put that big ass bowl, it's like a white salad bowl, you put it in the microwave and you heat up that water, and it's the same thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's the same thing. You heat up the water in the microwave and you heat it up on the stove, and this is it. Like, you know what I'm saying? And then I go to school, and niggas like, you know what I'm saying? My mom gave me money for drugs. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, she gave you money for drugs? Like, yeah, well, she felt like, you know, she didn't want me doing crazy stuff to get the money. Like, so she just gave me the money. And I'm like,
Wow.
what?
Wow.
Like, nigga, it's
Like,
insane to me.
There was kids doing drugs in the classroom. Like, in the classroom.
Nigga,
sniffing pills, taking pills.
Taking pills. Yeah,
Like,
it's crazy. I couldn't understand it, man.
Like the rich poor aspect is crazy, but especially when coming from the poor aspect, like people don't understand. Like, just a lot of shit. Like your only meals is when you eat them at school.
Nigga, that's a whole different. I can go on this tangent about that. Nigga, I remember my mom said I did my best. You right, and I'm not knocking you at all. Look, I'm never knocking you.
We ain't say you ain't never feed nobody.
Man, for never.
We did not. It's not like you learned how to cook chicken yesterday.
Yeah. Look, and I'm not knocking you or Mo or any of my children. I'm not knocking none of it because I actually appreciate everything that it laid out because that made all that stuff add up to who I am today, and I appreciate who I am today. If it wasn't for that struggle, nigga, I wouldn't know how. Like, so if it happens today, nigga, I know. Go put that fucking pot on the stove and pour the water in the sink. Like, you know what I'm saying? If my power got cut off today, like, I wouldn't know how to survive thanks to you not making it or whatever. Like, so I'm not saying that, but so I'm not saying that at all. You know what I'm saying? But damn, I forgot what I was about to say. So I don't know. Whatever. I don't know. What's the last thing you just said?
No, I remember what I was going to say because I had forgot.
Well, say what you're going to say because I forgot.
Yeah, but like these survival skills, well, I mean, not survival, but these things that we went through gave us survival skills today.
Yeah, for sure.
In the middle of winter, like these old ass pipes that come in this house, gas was blocked, so we couldn't have hot water. And like I was the only person in this house taking cold showers. Yeah. I'm used, like,
don't look at your phone now.
She can't hear. I don't know if she paid attention.
Mm-hmm.
She ain't hear nothing.
That's fine.
But yeah, I was the only person in the house taking cold showers. Like, it's nothing to me. You gotta get clean. Like, I enjoyed it after a while. Nice cold shower, and I look forward to it. But imagine hopping out of a cold shower and it's cold.
And it's cold. Yeah, you get out of cold shower and it's cold.
Yeah, it's cold.
Yeah, like, you know what I'm saying. Like, so all that. So, man. Oh, damn. What'd you say, man? Because it's like on the tip of my mind, but I can't think about it. Damn. It was something you had just said about
drugs.
No, it wasn't about drugs. It was
about skills at this prestigious private school on the west side. Rock River, to be particular.
Rock River.
It's only one. Well, no, it's kind of like two, but one of them is co-ed. So.
Oh damn! No, it was. Oh man, we just talking about.
Getting skinny out here. Marine came on.
Yeah.
But yeah, like
I can't think about it.
But
and so wait, so Angel just reminded me.
Excuse me.
So this just reminded me about something. So look, so now this is not necessarily trauma. This is a kid being spoiled or whatever. Like, so I remember, like, you might remember this. On 90th, 2002, I got the new Xbox, right?
Mm-hmm.
It bought me an Xbox for Christmas, right? Christmas is in December 25th. My birthday is June 20th. So literally 6 months later. You know how many games I had from December 25th to June 20th? 0. You know what I'm saying? Like, I had a brand new state-of-the-art gaming system with 0 games because niggas like, we can't afford it. Nigga, like, what you gonna do?
Some games was $50. It was $50 even back then. $50 back then for a game.
Nigga, like, we don't know what you gonna do. Nigga, sounds like burning CDs like off my Xbox.
I remember borrowing my
Hilarious.
I remember borrowing my friend's Sega Dreamcast for like I had it for like a week or 2 weeks. Like a nigga had to let me borrow the whole system. A whole system.
So not a game.
Not a game. A whole Sega Dreamcast. Like, that was like that was the 2K where Iverson was on there.
So niggas so right. So I'm not saying that that's trauma, but it's funny and it's just just a thing that happened where I was like, nigga, like I had a game system for 6 months that I couldn't do nothing with. I couldn't play no games because niggas wouldn't buy me games.
Like not the games, but like the other stuff that we went through. You could say that's trauma because shit is not normal.
No, it's not normal. It's not normal to not have heat or not have electricity. So you got to heat your water on the stove and pour it in the sink. It's not normal to have your gas off and have electricity. You got to heat your water up in the microwave. It's not normal. You know what I'm saying? So it is a form of trauma. I think all that stuff add on to it. But then I think as humans, we like, well, so we take that and we package it up and we use it as fuel or preparation for down the line. So if something that happened down the line, now we know how to, we know what to do with it. You know what I'm saying? Which I think goes back to, I know we went way, way away from the subject, kind of, but it always comes back to like that resiliency test that we took last week, where it shows how resilient we are as people. You know what I'm saying? So everybody had different, like you had a 6, I think Regina had like a 3 or something, I want to say 3 or 4 maybe. I think Angel had like a 3 or 4. Angel might have had a 2, I think. I think I had a 3, Ebony J had a 3. When we take that resiliency test, everybody scored high, you know what I'm saying? Like, because we are resilient. Like we take whatever the situation is and make the best out of it going forward. So we take that fucking pot of water off the stove and we pour it in the sink and we make the best out of the situation. We take a cold shower because we got to do it and we make the best out of it. You know what I'm saying? We take the negative and we use it. We turn it into a skill. Like, now I know how to do this. If I was ever without, I can do it.
Like, that's why I started cooking at such a young age, because I really started cooking at like 6, 7 years old because I wanted some eggs. Like I wanted some eggs. I done watched my mother do it a million times.
Hold on. Because I know it's slightly delayed. Angel, you said that's a good friend. LOL. What you mean that's a good friend?
I played a cigarette. Let me borrow a cigarette drink at.
Oh, that is a good friend. Ain't no fucking way I was doing it.
It's crazy, but hey, he was cool. But that was what's her name? Jose. But what's her name? Man, what was I saying? I don't know what I was saying though.
I don't know what that nigga name was, Jose. Yeah. Shout out to my best friend.
I really don't. I don't know. Can anybody on this thing remind me what I was just talking about?
We was drinking. The last thing I said was that we package it up and we use it as fuel. We make it. We take it as a bad thing and turn it into a skill. Oh, she said cooking eggs or something. Cooking eggs.
Yeah. So
thanks, Andrew. You're the best.
Don't
pin the post.
Just in case I forget. Hey, but yeah, so she so she couldn't cook me eggs one morning because I'm running late, I gotta go to work, whatever. So
you talking about your mom?
Yeah, okay. So that was the first day I cooked some eggs. I never stopped. So like I'm young as hell. So at the church,
that's what I was gonna talk about too, but go ahead.
At the church,
you want to think on it?
No. Like, I'm trying to remember people's names, but I'm just blanking out right now. But anyways, this guy he took me one time too when he went. He used to go to Schwabel's, and they Edmonds.
Yeah.
I think it was Edmonds. And the one on Mayfield. You go to Mayfield, it's like right there or whatever.
I think that's Edmonds.
Yeah, Edmonds. And used to go there and get, all the Oso. They used to give it to him for
Bread
free.
and snacks and shit. Yeah.
So when you come to the church, you get it, and if you're hungry. So used to have donuts and shit. I always used to take some donuts. So they had, the boboli. I don't know how you say it, like pizza, just the crust in the pack. Remember they used to sell them?
I know what you're talking about. I don't
know
know the name, but I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
So it used to be the crust. So all right, if I got the crust, I'm gonna need some cheese and some sauce. I can make some pizza. So I was making pieces, and one day I was like, you know what? What happened if I cut it in half, put the cheese in the middle, put some sauce and cheese on top? Nigga, who was thinking of some shit like just making shit?
Survival, nigga. That's who was thinking
They're
about
making grilled cheese sandwiches. Like I figured, well, damn, since we get like this one, the toaster oven was hot. I'm making grilled cheese sandwiches in the toaster oven. Nigga ate too many of them. The cheese that fucked up my stomach. Like never again did I eat that much cheese. Nigga couldn't shit. Constipated for days. You just made
you gotta use the lemons and make lemonade, man.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it comes down to. Like, I remember. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say nigga pox has been light, so I've been surviving with that grilled cheese.
Man, I just think about how many on 90th, man, how many how many fried bologna sandwiches as a nigga ate a while outside. Nigga, I remember walking down the house, walking down 90th. It's a long ass street. As a kid, probably not that long as an adult. As a kid, it's a long street. I remember walking to Porno Luke house. Shout out to Porno Luke, by the way. It's my man forever. Walking down to Porno Luke's house with nigga fried sandwiches. I remember doing this more than one time, and remember this one black people didn't skateboard, but niggas wanted to skateboard, but you didn't know how to skateboard. So niggas would just lay on the skateboard, on your stomach, just paddle down.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Going down, cause we stayed at the Quincy side going towards Cedar. It's downhill, it's fast. Coming back is a different story. But I remember riding down on my stomach on a skateboard with a fucking fried bologna sandwich.
Where you stayed it was a nice walk.
Nigga, yes, he stayed on the other side.
You never realize how far Quincy is to get to Cedar.
Until you gotta come back. Nigga, that's when it's nigga, this is the wrong street.
Or hopping off the bus. Seeing niggas on the Cedar side that you really don't fuck with.
Because they from Cedar and you from Quincy? Yeah.
You got this long ass walk.
Exactly.
So
your mom said Creighton. I don't know what that is. I don't know that.
Oh, Creighton. Yeah, hell yeah. But I wanted to say Furcron, but I knew that wasn't it.
Okay.
But I'm it's great.
Fried bologna goes so hard, but this is nigga, it's so simple. My parents would shout out to Mo, which is nigga, that was it. Bologna in the house was it. That was a nice straw. That was it.
It was an art to me.
Nigga, we had peanut butter and sugar sandwiches. We had that. My first dive into hustle was selling Kool-Aid, Kool-Aid and sugar, Kool-Aid packets and sugar. Mm-hmm. I would take it to these white people in Cleveland Heights and sell it. And look, I don't know why I'm not in sales today. Cause I was you know what I'm saying? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So it's red, whatever fruit punch or tropical punch. I'm you see these blue right here? This right here, these blueberries, you know what I'm saying? And nigga, I think I just messed up. But I sold it as it's tropical punch, but it also got blueberry Kool-Aid. It was regular Kool-Aid package in there. You know what I'm saying? I sold it to these white kids in Cleveland Heights all the time, off at 90 all the time. So if you was wondering why we kept running out of sugar and Kool-Aid, it was me. I was selling Kool-Aid to white kids in Cleveland Heights. But anyway, what you say about cooking ass made me remember, because we were talking. What I was going to say was about what you said was if you didn't eat at school, you didn't eat, right? Before I even moved on 90, we stayed on Hopkins, which is right by Lakeshore, Lakeview, and about Patrick Henry and all this stuff. I remember we walked, me, Ebony, Tonio, we walked to this nearby church that was serving you know, saying like lunch throughout the summer because they knew like niggas ain't eating out here. Like kids ain't eating. and by the way, this is where I fell in love with the peanut butter and jelly grams. The best thing ever happened to mankind. If some doctor is watching this by chance, if you make a diet consistent of just peanut butter and jelly grams, the old school ones with the silver wrapper, the silver and purple, not the new ones from Welch.
The new one's not hitting.
They decent, but they not nothing like the old
more
school
jelly
ones.
and the old school ones.
It gotta be
less peanut butter.
It gotta be the purple and silver wrapper.
Mm-hmm.
Find me a diet on there. I'm there. I'm losing all this weight. I'm there anyway. But that's where I found out. That's where I found out about it, and that's where and then so that was there, and then that was on Hopkins on Lakeview, and then before that, when we stayed in East Cleveland, we would go to Shaw, like old Shaw too, where you could only get in one way, and niggas had chocolate milk and fucking them peanut butter jelly sandwiches. Like, but they wasn't like niggas was taking them from me because I was a kid, so niggas would break out half, and Tony would have half or something. You know what I'm saying? But when I got to Hopkins, I'm like, nigga, these are amazing. Like, nigga, like this is peanut butter jelly to the next level. Like, you know what I'm saying? Not knowing it's like, nah, nigga, like this is reverse. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is worse. This is supposed to be worse. Like, so I don't know, man.
Yeah, peanut butter jelly sounds that's like at least 500 calories. Good.
Oh,
yeah. It'll give you some energy.
For sure. Your mom said with cheese and Miracle Whip, fried bologna with cheese and mayonnaise is the best thing ever to happen to food.
Like the reason why,
besides the peanut butter jelly grams,
messing with mayo is because like, at the church, like it was, like, I don't know what type of function it was at the church, but you know, it was bologna, cheese, and mayo sandwiches.
So you're like, I'm sick of it.
I was smashed. Like I had smashed a lot of them that day, and then I guess I probably had caught the flu or something. But I just woke up, just immediately threw up, and it was mayo and bologna like everywhere. To this day, I don't eat it.
That's so gross.
Don't eat it.
Let's see. Andrew said sales hilarious. Cause I hate doing sales, but I was selling Kool-Aid out here. Andrew said y'all had a fast food hookup. Your mom said Aria Hustler. I swear I did. I used to sell, and then like so like they got the pre-mix stuff like Country Time, and like the little container like this tall. I used to steal it from our house and go sell it. No, I did.
How you steal it from your house?
White people. Andrew said fried bologna with mustard is the only way. Fried mustard is disgusting as a whole, unless it's Cleveland mustard, and that's a different story. We did have a fast food hookup, kinda, right? All right, so this is how the fast food thing worked out. So Mo worked at rallies. So every once in a while, and typically it's like on a Friday or something when you working later. Like if you able to stay up, you can get a Big Buford or whatever. You can get a premium sandwich but you got to be willing to stay up to like 5 in the morning. Yeah, premium rallies burger. Because like on Friday and Saturday, rallies can close like 3 or 4 in the morning.
Yes.
So and you kids, so kids fall asleep. Like they just don't got the stamina or whatever. So you're able to stay up until 3 or 4 in the morning, or sometimes 4:30, 5 o'clock. Like whenever you actually get home, you can be in store for something good, but you gotta stay up. If you don't, nigga, it's a wrap. Like the morning time is over with, right?
Just fill me belly with that rally,
which is
bullshit,
which is just hilarious.
Bullshit.
And then we had a connection at Mr. Heroes. This is when Mr. Heroes was hiring black people, and they was actually you know what? Look, this is going to be a little bit of reverse racism for me because I never do it. But we used to steal so much and not steal, but like niggas used to hook us up all the way on Mr. Heroes. Like now I know why they don't hire black people from Mr. Heroes. Like, so I get it. Like it's a little bit of reverse racism.
And the Mr. Hero is like one of the only spots to really be in the hood, fast food.
Yeah, but it's all like Indian on now. But at the time, they was hiring black people, and we stole so much that now I know I get it. I get why they don't. I get why they don't do it.
See, this is how I know my high school years was different because every other Friday get that Roman burger
Man.
at school. Like this is at school.
Like your school would provide
it was on the menu. I had the Roman burger, Roman burger on the menu.
Your school will buy it though. Not your parents. Not your parents. Like, good look. Like, I remember being like elementary, middle. Like you got a doctor's appointment, so your parents are seeing you back with Subway or something. Mm-hmm. Not that. You mean like on the menu, on the lunch menu.
That's the hero Roman burger.
That's crazy to me.
I pay 50 cents for the whole meal.
That's fucking crazy to me.
50 cents Roman burger. Every other Friday was pizza from one of the pizza spots. I can't remember.
Well, I think our friendship has changed. This nigga's
all I want to say is the food.
He's a spoiled brat, and
hey, so I was there not too long ago for something, and I passed by the cafeteria, and I was like, damn, they serving the same shit. Serving our shit that changed. Like, Michelle Obama, she cool. Trust me, she real cool, but man, she done fucked up lunch for millions.
Let me see. Andrew said, I know you hate mustard. I do hate mustard, and so for Cleveland mustard is dope. Cleveland / stadium mustard is pretty good.
Your mother said, we did not steal.
It was. So somebody stole. It might have been us.
Remember on Riley's Checkers. They ain't gonna agree with you. They gonna say that was our product, even though it's supposed to go in the trash. It was our product. You stole from us.
Somebody stole. It's all I know. Anyway, man, like shout out to them peanut butter. So we did this whole show to say bring back the peanut butter and jelly grams in the purple and silver packets. This was all the rules. Last week was a setup for us to say bring back the peanut butter and jelly graham cracker sandwiches. With the silver foil, like Clover family or Clover Valley or some shit.
I don't know if they got recipe. Did it be? I don't know. I'll buy that recipe.
I don't know.
They put it in every corner store in America. I guarantee.
Sell.
I'll sell it.
So anyway, this is all the rules. We did this all so y'all can sign a petition for us to bring back peanut butter and jelly.
This is like off the topic, but I remember when 50 Cent had his own vitamin water?
Before he got the Coca-Cola? Yes.
Yeah. So
yes, I do.
In the commercial, you seen dude go to the corner store and buy the 50 Cent flavor or whatever. Nigga, I went to the corner store and I seen it. Did you think I did not buy it? Like, was it?
Like, just got to.
Like the commercial, that's the truth. They did the truth of commercial right there. Like the nigga went in the hood store, bought vitamin water, and I had one of those faithfully. But that's off topic. But I'm just saying, just hood memories.
Hood memories. All I'm saying is, and this also give me an idea for a show topic. All I'm saying is, all I'm saying is we need peanut butter and jelly graham cracker sandwiches. And as a business, I promise you we can sell them and make a killing. I promise
you, like peanut butter and jelly is a popular item. Very popular now.
And then you put them on grams? Like with the look, this is the difference between like the ones you make at home. They got the square graham cracker. Like these with the rounded edges.
And it's like it's a little bit softer, so the bite is just smooth. But look,
I'm telling you,
now you're not gonna find those graham crackers. But if you want to make your classic peanut butter and jelly, you may think that you know how to make it, but you don't. See, here's the thing: most people, I went over to one of my friend's house, who, he stayed in the hood, but he wasn't quite there. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't all the way there. So he used two knives for his peanut butter. Like 2 knives. Like no. Like he was like, no, you don't want to mix the peanut butter and jelly. No, this is where you get your jelly first.
Yeah. Because then you can
put your jelly on, Then you get your other piece. Then you wipe the remaining on the bread. You hit the peanut butter. Like
these spoiled brats out here, I tell you.
It's just things that you learn. Survival
skills. So what do you do if you only got one butter knife and that shit has happened? Like, what do? You only got one butter knife and spoon.
But they're gonna watch it. Watch your own one knife.
Yeah, just to finish the sandwich. Like, you're not doing that. I don't know. Anyway, man,
But yeah, through this trauma, like you just learn survival skills, which is a good thing.
So that's the point of today's show is no matter if it's kid trauma, like you or teenage trauma or young adult trauma, or even Cleveland Browns trauma, man, you take it and you package it all together, right? And then the most productive thing to do is not to compress it inside of you where it end up killing you later, is to take it and repackage it as survival skills, repackage it as something that you can use down the line so that way, like now it's no longer trauma to you, right? So now mentally, I mean, whatever happened to you, happened to you. But mentally, you can repackage as like whatever it is that you need to survive. Like in life, because life is all about survival in different ways. And it's you got to repackage stuff. Like you just got to. Because if you keep it as, or you're feeling sorry for yourself, or you just keep reliving the trauma over and over, all it does is slowly kill you. And like I said, if you haven't, if you didn't watch the show from last week, definitely watch it. Definitely take the trauma test. It's posted on our thing. I think it's important. And then, like I said, just think, because it's only 10 questions, but it make you think about stuff that happened to you or might not have happened to you or whatever. Like, it just gives you some kind of a thought, and then you take that, keep that number, and maybe do some research into it if you need to. But then also take the resiliency test, because I think that's the most important test. Like, I think that's the most important thing, is to know that you are able to repackage something as something else. You're able to take it, identify what it did to you, say, okay, enough of that. Now I'm going to take this and I'm going to use it for good. I'm going to use it as, this happened to me, so now I'm going to take it and I'm going to make it where I do good for other people or whatever. Like, I think that's way more important than taking another test. So let me restate this. Take the resiliency test, and then if you want to, take the trauma test. But take that resiliency test, because it's so important to be resilient in life, because life is going to bring you problems. It's going to bring you issues. No matter how old you are, no matter what you've been through, whatever your background is, it's going to bring you trauma and just bad stuff in general, because that's just fucking life, to be honest with you. But the fact that you're able to bounce back from it is the most important thing.
Like, that's why, like, hard times today,
they're not so hard to me.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Okay, it's like, okay, I've been through this. Okay, it's nothing. I can survive.
Right.
Nothing. This is nothing.
Damn, I don't got no money. I've been without money before.
And I know how I made it stretch. Like,
you look at it like, okay, so if I can just get look, full disclosure, right? And Angel didn't even know about this. Shout out to Angel and her birthday coming up. Shout out to my mom and her birthday coming up. Nigga, I'm so low on money right now. Full disclosure, not even alcohol. Like, this is real talk with people that I
said not even alcohol.
No, this is what I would do in the counseling session. I get drunk and I go talk to my counselor. I'm like, look, no. So anyway, look, I'm so low on money right now, right? That I already looked ahead. Like, all right, so all I got to do is get to November, right? I get to November, that's 3 pay periods. All right, I can reset in November, but just get to November. I looked at this in September, like September. I'm like, nigga, I don't know how I'm gonna catch a break. Like, where's my break gonna come? Like, I need a second job. I need a this and that. And I look, I'm like, November, 3 pay periods in November. Oh, that's where I can catch up.
I didn't know that,
nigga. I'm telling you, like you know what I'm saying, like that's. Look, that's where I'm at in life. See. And the reason I'm not panicking is because of the not only, like I said, I don't even want to call it trauma at this point, but I want to take it as survival skills. I've took the stuff that I was able to do or wasn't able to do as a kid, or position that my parents put me in. And I was able to take those things and be like, look, there's no need to panic. Like, the power could cut off, it's fine. You got 4 days of putting your bowl in the microwave and your water. or putting a pot on the stove and heating up your water. Yeah, 4 days of that, right? Like it's okay. Just relax for a moment. I'm talking to him, but I'm talking to y'all. Just all right. Just take a moment. You'll be uncomfortable for a couple of days, but it's fine. You've done this before. Mm-hmm. It's not completely foreign to you. It's not enjoyable, but it's not foreign. It's all right. Just give it a moment. You'll be right back to it. Don't even worry about it.
Here go my thing. Injured myself 2 months ago. Been on what do old people call it? A fixed income. So.
Laura, y'all on the fixed income?
Our bills being paid, most definitely.
We're not living as comfortably as we usually
Yeah,
are. We are, but we're my credit card bill stacking up instead of paying out my bank account.
See, I'm a fine.
I can identify with that.
I'm a fine dining eating type of person.
You're a fine dining?
Fine dining. I don't want to say super. Super
hey,
fine.
Fine dining.
I like to go out, enjoy one of Cleveland's magnificent restaurants.
Fine dining, as you guys will soon find out. Let's just say that.
But ever since a nigga been on the fixed income, it's been kind of hard. But so I'm paying. I'm like, okay. I'm looking when I'm supposed to go back to work. I can make it. If nothing happened, I stay in the house, eat in the house. I don't lost 20 pounds just from eating in the house. Real shit. This is crazy. I know I'm looking. If you look 2 months ago, I look a little lighter on camera. So look. I'm on a fixed income, and then motherfucking refrigerator break. Now this done fucked me up. If y'all done been grown for a while, some of the people that listeners, so y'all already know a refrigerator costs. This shit fucked me up. So then, I had to spend money I was supposed to just be chilling on the refrigerator. Then I had to spend my savings up. So yeah, it's one of them times. But I know how to survive, so it's nothing for me to say, you know what? Let me go get go to Aldi's, get me some deli meat, some bread, some cheese. I can survive off sandwiches. Am I getting tired of eating sandwiches? Hell yeah. But I'm still here and I'm still surviving,
Yeah, that's how I feel, Sinead.
Huh?
I'm still here. I'm still strong. I'm still standing.
I really had to sell a pair of shoes to a nigga. That's when it get bad. But that's how you know it was good, because you got stuff that's worth value. You could just sell the shit. Times get rough. Now I used to sell some of my people call them straps, poles,
tones,
like gats, shit like that. I used to sell them. The times got rough, but I learned. Hell no,
they never lose value.
They don't lose value, but it take a minute to get back what you had. Cause
sure.
I can, sell it, get something cheaper, pocket the extra money. But then I'm like, damn, it was a reason why I got what I got.
Right, got it right. Yeah.
So I said, no, I can't do that. I'm just gonna have to wait it. Then I'll come back good. But everybody has setbacks. But it's people out in this world that never had a setback. They had one setback, they jumping off. Jumping
off the cliff. Nigga, like, hey, because I think with Dave Chappelle, something like, nigga, if Bill Gates woke up this morning with Oprah money, he'd commit suicide. He'd jump off a bridge immediately. You know what I'm saying? Which I get it. You know what I'm saying? But right. So, Erica, you are 100% right. And long story short, this whole show, and I know I made it about peanut butter and jelly bars, even though they are.
Hey, but peanut butter and jelly bars we can relate to, because that's the struggle.
That's the strongest. Like, if you came for lunch and they're like, oh, we all out of sandwiches and stuff, but you got a peanut butter. Like, nigga, this is why I came. What are you talking about? Like, this is why I'm here. I'm here for the peanut butter and jelly. Like, I didn't come for the weak ass ham and cheese. Like, I came for the the peanut butter and jelly. Anyway, America, you're right. 100% correct. Yes. So this whole show was about, not even secretly, it was about taking your trauma, taking your experiences, taking your bad things and repackaging them, repurposing them for something good, something that you can use down the line. Even if it's passing, even if you don't use it no more, like you came up to the point where you don't have to worry about that certain struggle. But you can pass that information, that knowledge on to your kids or your niece or nephew or something like that. Like you can just give them the information so that they would know that they can also survive like when it's time to get tough, because it's important. It's super important to like not only for your lineage but just for everybody, like just for every for the human race, I guess. Like you got to understand the difficulties, and you got to know how to use them and repurpose them for something else. So if you take it as trauma or whatever, and then you turn it into a positive, like turn it into an advantage of yours.
Make you stronger though.
Yeah.
At the end of the day.
So if I don't have the wherewithal to do this, but if I did, I could teach a survival class. Like, nigga, this is how you survive in the struggle, right? You know what I'm saying? You only got enough money to wash clothes once every 2 weeks. This is how you make it work. You know what I'm saying? You wash on Thursdays, you know what I'm saying, or whatever. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you just make it work. My mother said, "Tell about me selling my chicken."
She used to sell chicken.
No, she's talking about selling chicken now though, which is fine, but you gotta actually make a post, and then we'll talk about the selling chicken. We can't direct people to you if you're not having a post.
You got pay us.
Yeah.
For every $10 you gotta make, you gotta at least make $1.
Well, so what I told her was, I'm like, for every 10 orders of chicken you sell, we get an order of chicken, which I'm also down with.
That's a deal too.
Yeah. So get on that post, and then cause we get paid for advertising. Y'all haven't seen no advertising, so I mean we ain't getting paid.
Hey,
so
how about this for some branding? Yo-Yo's famous chicken.
I'm just saying. Come, you know what this is right here? Can you see my hand? Like, do you know what this is? This is called an umbrella. Come get under this umbrella. You know what I'm saying? Tim, you say you want your own show? Come get under this umbrella, man.
If you don't be under the umbrella,
come get under this umbrella.
You gonna get hit with that rain. You're gonna get rained on.
Yeah, come get under this umbrella, man. Come get under this ePIFFany Media umbrella. Hey, so we don't want to keep y'all too much longer. We know we started later. We usually have a short show because of it. But the topic was good, and y'all hung in with us for shit most of the time. Like I definitely appreciate it. I don't got to work tomorrow, so I want to enjoy tonight and just be drunk and have a cigar or something. I'm definitely not gonna complain about that.
Nothing wrong with that.
Thank you all for joining us, as always, as we combine young adult and teenage trauma with Cleveland Browns trauma. You joined us at the very front, at the very top of the show. I don't know what we're gonna do about them, but the rest of the trauma, we able to use it for something good. I don't know what you do with the Cleveland Browns trauma. You just it's been 20 years and I haven't figured it out, so I'm sure you can't do anything with it. But yeah, I don't know. But anyway, I appreciate y'all joining us. I'm all out of drinks, so.
So you're not allowed?
Huh?
Not allowed?
What?
To drink?
I'm all out.
Oh. You got a whole beer.
All out.
You got a whole beer on camera.
This don't count. This is going to disappear.
So, yeah, I think we can end it now. You know,
I'm with that.
just a little couple updates. Next week we're gonna come with part 3 of the young adult. You know, young adult basically coming into our own. You know what I was thinking about today? It's like, damn, when it came from 90s, like we got our own like places now. Shit weird.
Look, that alone is great. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you got your own place. For all hours. And nigga, I stayed south and west. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like
especially where you stay. Like,
it's crazy.
Imagine
It's crazy. No, it's crazy.
Oh.
So you know, so look, this is what I'm thinking, and this is giving me a show topic, right? or actually earlier today when I said it. So I think next week we can do like, and I'm saying this live, like it's not nothing we talked about. So next week I think we can do like current trauma, like current stuff, how we do, and current stuff that impact us now, and how we deal with it, and how maybe you repurpose it or maybe you don't repurpose it now that you're an adult, or maybe just having like a different perspective now that you're older.
Or young adult, you know, show 2 hours, young adult.
Young adult, that's fine.
You know,
That's
now
fine.
instead of having to wait.
So I just think instead of having like a 4-part series in October, we have maybe a 3, whatever, however it works out fine. But something that did give me a just an idea. It's something we've already done on Epiphany Radio, was just 90th stories, right? So you get a bunch of people that didn't join us before, that wasn't listening back then, or people who didn't know at the time. Like, I mean, y'all here now. Let us know what y'all think of us doing like a complete show about 90th and Cedar, 90th and Quincy, and just our experiences, stories from there, like just wild stuff that happened or tame stuff that happened for that matter. I don't know. I think it'll be interesting to do a show in front of people that never got a chance to listen. If you want to listen to the original, feel free to go to SoundCloud. Just type in Epiphany Radio. YouTube, type in Epiphany Radio, and it is there. I think an updated version with visuals. I think it'll be. I think it'll be interesting.
Yeah, that's one of the shows that we won't be able to put money behind.
Because it'll be a lot of cussing, and a lot of just random hood stuff. But because that'll be right around Halloween time. Some of the stories are scary. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I think it might fit good. So y'all let us know if y'all interested in that. I think it'll be a good time, but I don't know. Like, we do the show for y'all, so if y'all don't think it's good, then we'll always pick up something else. But I think next week we definitely should do another part of trauma and being an adult and how we deal with it like in today's time. And Mom said, don't forget tomorrow is Byron Granberry. Oh, don't forget what tomorrow? What's tomorrow?
Anniversary.
Whose anniversary?
Not mine.
I don't know what that means. We're secret.
No, my parents.
Oh, okay. Mom, what y'all doing for your anniversary? What you doing? What you doing for your parents? You taking them back to the pancake house for
an episode on broke.
Well, I hope you get that phone call in the morning, Mom. I appreciate y'all for joining us. Like I already said, every single show I do, every time y'all leave comments for us, I appreciate it. I don't even know what to say, man. Thank you. That's all I can say. Especially on a series like this, like where it's kind of serious and ain't just jokey and it's both. Like it's a serious topic, but then we can kind of have some laughs along the way. I appreciate y'all.
This is my thing. Do Facebook watch the whole show? It's like when we run a short ad, like 15 seconds, just boom, approved. But we do a whole show, I gotta wait like all day for it. So I'm like, do they watch the whole show?
I don't know.
If they watch Facebook watch the whole show, that's great.
Yeah. Shout out to Facebook.
I mean, it's like, well, a couple cuts work, but it's good material.
It's good material. It's good. Good content, guys. Good.
Right.
Good. So hey, everybody have a blessed week. Like I said 1,000 times, we appreciate y'all. We couldn't do it without y'all. Merchandise, like his hat, like my shirt. Shout out to Angel, like I said, have the one and only Epiphany Media hoodie. If she sent me a picture of something, I'll definitely post it so y'all can see it.
This particular hoodie is a 1-on-1.
It's literally a 1-on-1. Like none before and none to come. Like that's it. She got the 1-on-1, man. I appreciate y'all joining us. Like everybody's saying, y'all have a blessed week too. We'll reconvene with y'all next Sunday.
Another topic because more people can relate to now.
Yeah, you can think about it now. Yeah, for sure.
Now you can look back on things, but yeah.
And then hopefully with cigars next week. That's all I can say. But yeah, for sure. Hey, one last thing, Shantae, what's going on? So like I said, let us know. Let us know what. Let
You
us
don't remember?
let us know if y'all want us to do it
I
like a
just put 'em
90th
out.
show, just all the stories from
To have them soft.
from 90th that we remember, whether it's about going to the corner store Abe's or when they tried to steal chicken that one time for like a month
Like the pancakes.
and then it didn't work. But then the breakfast somehow worked. We all want to talk about 9/11. 9/11. I said 9/11. 9/11 when we was living in the store, living in the neighborhood and going to like Arab stores and stuff.
Or the blackout.
Or the 2003 blackout was amazing. Or World Burger at the end of the street, or just Porno Luke. If y'all want to find out more about Porno Luke, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? I think it'll
millions
be,
of stories.
yeah, like literally 1,000 stories from 90. So if y'all think that'll be interesting, definitely let us know. Send us a message or leave it in the comments below, and then that'll be fine. Other than that, man, we'll see y'all next week. And man, I appreciate y'all as always, man.
So
I can't say it enough. Shout out to Porno Luke. Shout out to Porno Luke.
So yeah, remember to on your own, you can do stuff like this.
Salute to the city, man, as always, and I will catch y'all in a little bit. Your mom said the blackout was on her birthday. That's crazy. All right, so we out.